Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome to Slow News Day Live Morning Edition. There I am. I'm Steve Boykinen. I'm coming to you from the middle of nowhere. I am very pleased to be here this morning. We got some weird shit and some wild shit to talk about. Going to be joined later on in the broadcast by our good friend Tedros Fikra from the Guion Journal. Man, Teddy's been fired up. I'm blurry, Stephanie, because this is a satellite connection, and even though they told us it was going to be like low latency and vastly superior to regular internet, it is not so much. But we're gonna figure all this out. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably end up just doing this show audio only, especially when we're going to be able to have guests in who will have good video and stuff like that. So, and all of that's in the works. This is a brand new thing. This is the third one of these that we've done so far, and it's kind of like the whole show is a learning. You guys make fucking plans. It never works out when I make plans. So I've got goals, and I'll try to hit those, but plans don't really work. Thank you very much, Steve Cutler, for the Meth Town clip. And also a big shout out to Jared from Sacramento, who did as well make a Meth Town clip through some images over that's up on Twitter and Instagram right now. Having fun with that shit. The Meth Town shit is just wild because look, the Mad Mom pointed out that like meth dissolves in water. So what the fuck is even really going on there? Or do they have just dry faucet with meth so packed in it that it's falling out? Back pressure. That motherfucker of the article said he got hit in the eye. In the eye. Do you know where your eye has to be in order for a faucet to shoot something out of it and hit you? What the fuck kind of faucet do they have at the Super 8 in Methwater, New Mexico? Anyway, this show is entirely viewer supported. We have a GoFundMe up. The link is in the description. I will at some point drop it into the chat here. PayPal and Cash App are at Slow News Day Show. You can buy a Sleepy Josh coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Bort. And then over on the Rockfin, you can always endorse the show. It's $9.99 a month. You get everybody's paywalled content on the network. And it's a fabulous way to support your favorite content creator. If you are so inclined, if you are psychedelically inclined, you would like to expand your consciousness or just maybe nibble on a little bit of psilocybin to alleviate some trauma or some anxiety, some tension, some depression, Matrix Bars has your back. Matrix Bars have 3.5 grams of psilocybin mushrooms per bar. They are abso-fucking-lutely delicious. I don't like strawberries and cream as a flavor, as a combination of dancers. It doesn't matter. Oh, not a fan. And the chocolate bar, absolutely delicious. That's a fantastic point, Nicole. Bounced off the sink when it can. Maybe. Gregory Ariel, thank you very much, brother. Go over and say hi to some folks on the Rockfin. Will M, Kimberly Smith, Fred Word. What's happening, everybody? So let's go ahead and and jump into the day.
I need like 2 minutes to go drag my trash out, so I don't miss it.
Okay. No, that's fine. I've got an article which I don't have to go to video yet. But go do your stuff, man. Go do your stuff. We got over here. Okay. Fucking 7:30 text. Anyway, you guys. This has been I don't know, really weird fucking just kind of couple of weeks watching people start to come around to the idea that maybe this whole rollout of the jabby jab and the boosters and the schedule of boosters, the realization that they're never going away, that's starting to pick up. And I find that a little bit encouraging, because if you don't get the Leni Riefenstahl's submissive void, at least moving towards the right direction. Like, if we can't get, people who don't care or otherwise wouldn't care, Black in the Empire, good morning, my brother, how you doing? Do at least acknowledge that, like, one of the biggest psychological operations in human history is underway, and absolutely none of it makes sense. Like, they had people so captured with fear for so long that the fact that none of it made sense wasn't registering. It was for us. We've been, doing our damnedest to make people aware of what's going on, showing you information, pointing you to the people who have done the deep dives on it. And now, I mean, 18 months into it, when all of this information from Israel is coming out about how, so for every one person we save with the jab, two people, well, they die or they're permanently injured. Maybe that's not a high success rate when death and injury doubles our success. If it was any normal product, medicine notwithstanding, any normal product that had a rate of failure like this, not only would you recall it, you would make sure that company never made any of those products ever again. One of my superheroes.
They'll just rename it and kill us with that. That's
yeah, 100%. Nicole was procrastinating on getting ready to run errands. Now I will blame Steve. One of my superhero names is the scapegoat. It is my fault. It's my fault. It is. It's okay. I'll get over it. I will. You should too. You should. You should. But it's my fault. Totally. Dingo says, I'm sick of MSM narrative repeaters like Status Poo or Graham Cracker. I can only imagine that means Captain Vegan Smoothie. When they haven't gone as deep on studies for medical journals. So that's the thing. That man really said that on his thread. He went nuts. Someone triggered him on his own show, where he's just standing by himself in his living room. He let someone from a computer who knows how far away get him so mad that he screamed into a camera from his own living room. You ever been beat up by a vegan or some shit like that? Because that's how mad he was.
I'll give him that. That's the only time I've ever seen that guy actually funny. And I don't think he meant it.
No, dude. That guy is a product of thinking Saturday Night Live is funny and then getting to LA and finding out that Saturday Night Live isn't funny, and then just having to like
clowned on by Norm Macdonald.
You know what, man? Look, we haven't even talked about this, and rest in peace, Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald is one of those dudes that was just like, I think he was almost too weird for a lot of people to get. Like, they didn't understand what he was doing at all. Sometimes he was funny. Sometimes he was just a douchebag. Sometimes he was an asshole. Half the time he was trolling these motherfuckers. Like, Tim Dillon tells this story about being just completely heartbroken by Norm because he met him at the Toronto Comedy Festival, and Norm's like, how long you been doing comedy? Tim Dillon's like, 4 or 5 years. I don't know. Boy, really happy to be here. Norm goes, all right, you got to be doing comedy for 10 years to be here, and then just walks off. You could take that like one of a million ways. In reality, Norm probably trolling. Probably. But you never know. You never know. And it's not like that guy was going to tell. It's not. And then fucking my other favorite Norm bit, I can't remember whose show he was on. It might have been Conan. It might have been a little bit earlier. Sarah Silverman came up. And he's like, Sarah Silverman. Yeah. I love Sarah Silverman. Who's funnier than Sarah Silverman? Except every male. It's just like, you could hear an absolute pin drop in the motherfucking room. And then for like a second, there was that deep inhale, and then enough people couldn't help themselves that they just guffawed. But also, fuck Sarah Silverman. I mean, look, there's Sarah Silverman 20 years ago when it was like shocking for a female comic to say penis every 8 seconds. Yeah. Edgy. She did some funny shit. She did. I wish it was part of a troll that she was teaming up with Al Franken. I wish it was part of a fucking bit that Sarah Silverman was involved with the Democratic National Committee at any level. But here we are. And now, at least to her credit, she's walking around talking about how the United States should get a divorce. And she's doing it kind of tongue in cheek, but like she is legitimately questioning whether or not the United States needs to remain the United States. So that's okay. I'm definitely good with that. Let's see. What did I send you, Sleepy, for the Haitian? Joe Biden is having
a bastard back in the day, and then there's like Border Patrol Nazis.
Yeah, let's pull up the Border Patrol Nazis shit, because this is fucking wild. Why? And you know what? There's always anytime you've got like a fucking, agent on horseback with a bullwhip and he's white and the other dude is black, like it just optically. By the way, why are we still using bullwhips to round up human beings in 2021? Yeah, let's roll this. Oh, this isn't we've got a still image of dude with the whip, but I mean you can see it out.
We're having a hard time. Our family sends us money, but we can't eat. We have children, but don't have diapers. Look, now I have to cross to the Mexican side with wet money to be able to buy things for the child, and we have nothing. We're unable to eat. I need help with everything that's happening to us over there because there are a lot of children, and they're only removing the single parents, and the children are left alone. Just imagine.
Yep, Border Patrol just up there chasing fucking Haitian immigrants off who are at this point just trying to deliver supplies. I mean, they're not trying too hard, right? But they're trying hard enough. And then, no, Ben, if you wanted to see the here, I got it.
I saw him whipping his little whip around and snapping it like he's a badass. Fucking somebody needs to rip him off his horse and shove that.
I thought that was just like the horse control whip. That didn't look like a big ass bullwhip to me.
What the hell's a horse control whip? I've been riding horses for 40 fucking years.
You kind of whip him in the butt to get him to go where you want to go.
That's something rich assholes do. That's not a real thing.
Just saying. That's
not a real thing.
I know a couple people who had horses.
Like that's something that dumb rich people do with their little prancy horses. Like,
to be fair, the person I saw that had
around with a whip.
I mean, you doing them John Wayne movies? I seen them.
I had a friend, rest his soul. His wife was a horse trader. So
I don't feel like this fucking. There's a lot of tobacco left of that. I don't feel like it's working. It bugs me. So let's bring up that thread from Sawyer Hackett it's got the original video of this, but it's got a number of other images. Huh?
Your video looks great if you share articles. It's just a video.
Okay, I'll do that then.
Yeah, it looks fine. As long as it's not like moving, it looks good.
Okay, so here, I mean, if you're Joe Biden and you're
you whipping a horse with that.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, dude,
that's not a horse whip. That's a horse whip. On the like my right hand screen, that right hand picture.
Yeah,
that's a horse whip. That left hand picture, that is definitely not.
That looks like a racist white man on a horse.
It really does. That looks like, yeah. And then there's this, this happened in Australia where the cops killed that woman after dumping a can of mace in her fucking eyeballs and, air passageways. Yeah, good times. Good times. This is wild as fuck, man. Let's see. The Reuters article is hysterical. I'll go ahead and bring that up because it's got that like couched language. Like, I don't know if we can really tell the truth about this, but well, here's kind of what's happening. U.S. law enforcement officer on horseback wielded what appeared to be a lariat, whipping it close to the face of a man waiting in the Rio Grande carrying a plastic bag of food. It was just one desperate moment in a few hours of such scenes along the Rio Grande on Sunday. Hundreds of Haitian migrants who have been camping under a bridge in the Texas town of Del Rio were trying to bring food and other supplies from Ciudad Acuna in the Mexican state of Chihuahua. Said that wrong, Huila? Yeah. Anyway, while U.S. officials have stepped up security at the border and started flying migrants out of the area, some back to Haiti. Drone footage shows more than 12,000 migrants, mostly Haitian, at the makeshift camp in Del Rio. Can you actually hit that? Yeah. Sorry about the shitty video there, but I mean, that's a lot of people. That's a fucking lot of people camped out under a stretch of bridge.
Did you see that fucking Onion article where they're like, they're gonna build like a fucking 100-mile long underpass to house all the homeless? Like, that's what it reminds me of.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's good shit. Migrants said their squalid encampment under a bridge on the U.S. side of the river was short of supplies. U.S. officials over the last few days had let migrants cross back and forth at a shallow point of the river. On Sunday, however, they told migrants they would not be able to return to the U.S. side if they ventured into Mexico. So this is where, okay, look. I don't want anyone to have to live in absolute squalor. I don't want 12,000 people to have to be camped out under a bridge in Del Rio, Texas. Jesus. It's got to be miserable. Del Rio, Texas, a fucking border town. You don't even get a goddamn Whataburger over there. You know what I mean? It just suck. Del Rio. I don't want that. But look, if you're going to enforce it at any point, don't be like, okay, well, it crossed today. Okay, yeah, no, it's cool. Go deliver diapers to the kids. But if you try to do it again, I'm going to whip you Indiana Jones style, Alex Haley Root style. It's fucking on. If you do the thing that I've already allowed you to do, that I have now arbitrarily told you can't do anymore.
But hey, Trump's bad.
Right? John Cito
reduction, baby. It's harm reduction.
This is harm reduction. More than 12,000 migrants identified by locals on both sides as mostly Haitian have been gathering under the bridge in recent days, awaiting immigration processing. Instead, U.S. officials began removing several thousand people from the camp over the weekend, including some who were later seen arriving in Haiti. Still, several people who spoke to Reuters, most of whom travel with their children, said they would take their chances to try to stay in the United States. Haiti, apparently shittier than Joe Biden's America. Yo, dude. Are we gonna make that any bigger? That's what she said. Nope. Okay. Oh, there we go. Ah, you asshole. Anyway, that's some wild shit, man. That's some wild shit. Julia Moretti, thank you for the super ray. Appreciate it. Dude, we had to find a creative way to boil water here this morning, Sleepy, because the propane on the stove is out, which I just found out about like 35 minutes before the show started.
Fun times.
Fuck. I'm gonna do a 7:30 a.m. live broadcast without coffee. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. That's insane, though, dude. That's insane. Let's see. What do I wanna jump to now? Oh, that's right. We've got that Joe Biden clip. Let's play that Joe Biden clip. So this is Joe Biden. Joe Biden today. Obviously concerned enough with Haiti to have migrants whipped at the border and chased down on horseback lest they deliver baby formula.
If Haiti,
but there was a time Joe Biden a little bit more ambivalent about the nation.
if Haiti, a god-awful thing to say, if Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot in terms of our
Yo, that's some cold shit. If Haiti just sunk into the Caribbean or quietly rose up 300 feet, yeah. The fuck? We technically don't need it anymore. Like, that's the attitude that Joe Biden had before the hair plugs. Now that both his hair and his teeth are thicker, wider, and longer, he's having them chased down and whipped at the border. The reason that Mona, shout out to Mona, by the way, the reason that Mona designed the Uncle Joe's Rainbow Death Cult shirt that you can find over on Richie Medhurst's merch store, the reason is because Joe Biden is a genocidal maniac. Notorious for being like the most heartless Democrat in Congress. Like his entire career, his whole thing was like, fuck off, hippie. I'm Joe. The B in Biden stands for business. Yeah, like that's who that fucking guy was.
I've got a coffee cup with the logo on it. Mona
What's
got it.
that?
Mona got me
that's
one.
the rad. That's awesome.
I drink coffee
That's awesome. Out of Uncle Joe's Rainbow Death Cult. That's fantastic. That is. It's a fake story because this guy somehow supports CNN. It's a fake story because I do. David, please, in the chat, give me the number of your drug dealer because I want to meet that motherfucker and get on what you're on. I do. It would take, yeah, dude, hook me up with your plug. I need your drugs. I want to get as high as you. I do. Jumping over. Let's do the Coinbase
why would CNN like they licked Biden's ass? Why? I don't get it.
Right. The network that Project Veritas has undercover footage of a producer claiming victory for claiming responsibility for Joe Biden's victory. That network is going to go out of their way to paint Joe Biden in a bad light or the Biden administration in a bad light. That's David, tell me, is there going to be a great awakening? Tell me that in the chat. Let's see who we're dealing with here. Let's see who we're dealing with. As the other shoots is passed, predict present.
There's
David.
a shadow government. Trump's at the wheel, baby.
Is Donald Trump the real president running it from the winter White House? It's Joe Biden, a hologram. At any rate, Coinbase joins the ranks of, well, Joe Biden, but also Donald Trump and also Barack Obama, Pierre Omidyar, just the most esteemed people that you could think of by working with ICE. That's right. Coinbase. Here, let me go ahead and bring this up. You guys, crypto exchanges with any kind of connection to, the federal government, especially like their sort of Gestapo division, that's not good. In fact, like, okay, you guys know that we have like mixed feelings about the whole crypto thing. Don't really trust it. I totally think you should exploit it while you can, because I'd, make hay while the sun's out, right? But if you can't find an exchange or a wallet that isn't a little bit more, I don't know, human friendly than Coinbase, just give it up. Just fucking get up. Contract was first spotted by Jack Paulson, executive director, Tech Inquiry. By the way, I'm kind of, let me go over to the other, just because I hate Vice, let me go to the other site I have up for this thing. Yeah, because this is really where it's at, and the ICE thing, I think, is more of Vice's take to make it about social justice and make it about the culture war, rather than making it about the fact that U.S. Homeland Security is now like heavily invested in Coinbase. And I'm gonna guess, let's see, the new deal is Coinbase's largest federal contract yet, implying, of course, that Coinbase has multiple other federal contracts. Deal was signed Thursday, is worth around 40 times more than Coinbase's last contract with the Homeland Security branch. Neat. Forensic software.
I'm like, what fucking forensic software are these assholes writing? I don't get it. Like, that has nothing to do with.
Okay. I mean, we've got the documents, Josh.
I'm just flabbergasted that they're even involved in this. Like, why? I'm like, oh yeah, you have to like damn near give a blood sample to Coinbase just to fucking convert your shit. So I'm not surprised.
Well, I mean, yeah, think about it. Think about the tracking data you can glean from that. Details as to exactly what ICE wants with Coinbase software for scarce. The document later states this requirement is law enforcement sensitive. Therefore, minimal information will be provided publicly. Always confidence inspiring. ICE is not the first government agency to request Coinbase services. Last year, Coinbase announced its desire to sell analytics tools to two U.S. government branches, the DEA and the Inland Revenue Service.
Yeah, this is these motherfuckers trying to like scoop up anyone they can.
So, are you... If anyone is thinking they've got privacy through their Coinbase wallet and their Bitcoin and their Ethereum, if you think that's bringing you privacy and financial freedom, you are not correct. Very, very much not correct.
I mean, that's why I don't like crypto, dude. It's like, if you want to actually use it, like, you have to fucking have your shit spied on by the fucking government. It's ridiculous. So these people like, it's private. I'm like, no, it's not. It's a public fucking ledger. You can view every goddamn transaction. And guess who else can? The government. And they've got their hands in at the point of sale. So I'm sure they've got all the data. Like, they don't have to figure out whose wallet belongs to who. They fucking know. So, you know, and I'm positive that this is not a Coinbase specific thing, because anything you want to convert out of fiat, you have to give them ID and shit, period, in the US anyway. So.
Yeah, you can, if you can base your community, you know, or if you could base a global network on Pirate Coin, you could be pretty anonymized. You could. And yes, Cab, you're absolutely right. Look, it's not that Bitcoin funded Julian after MasterCard and Visa and Amazon went to war to. It's that Bitcoin was the only fucking quote unquote currency that would still that would even fuck with WikiLeaks. And it's because WikiLeaks bought heavily into Bitcoin in its infancy. And fucking like WikiLeaks was one of, if not the first major platform to adopt Bitcoin as accepted currency. So it's kind of the other way around. It's kind of the Julian Assange and WikiLeaks gave legitimacy to Bitcoin by saying, hey man, we'll take it. Can you imagine how many whole Bitcoin WikiLeaks spent converting it into fucking fiat back in the day?
Ugh, Jesus.
That just like fuck make your asshole pucker a little bit. Oh man,
it's all fake money, dude. It's all goddamn fake. I don't understand.
I know. That's the beautiful thing. At the end of the day, Sleepy Josh, it's all fucking fake money. All fake money. Jeebus.
And they get a whopping 15 transactions a fucking second, which is not going to replace the global financial markets. You can't do
but I mean, that's what they're saying. That's what the Litecoin or the Lightning coin is, right?
I mean, that's what I've heard, but like, I don't fucking know. Like, but still, they're still not at the level where they need to be to do real-time transactions. Period. They're just not. Imagine how much power they're going to need to enable real-time transactions. And yeah, even with Lightning coin and stuff, that's one thing, but you've got all these different cryptos and shit that aren't going to work like that. So I don't know.
No, I agree. I do. I agree. I want to come back to this. I want to come back to this article real quick because there's definitely a couple of things worth noting, and then I'm wondering if we might want to just finish the show. Oh no, we can do the Fed segment on YouTube. The Fedstock segment on YouTube. But yeah, so the IRS said that it could use several analytics tools to help catch blockchain savvy tax dodgers including Coinbase Analytics, formerly known as Neutrino. Coinbase acquired Neutrino back in 2019 for $13.5 million. It was a controversial acquisition at the time, since Neutrino members had been linked to an Italian organization called Hacking Team, which sold spyware to various authoritarian regimes in Saudi Arabia, Sudan, and Venezuela.
Dude, Hacking sounds like a fucking straight op name, dude. Like,
well, look who they're targeting.
I mean, what is this? Is this fucking Robert Maxwell shit or Israel shit or what is this exactly?
Right?
Sounds like
right.
Look at the fucking list of contracts. Dude. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm looking at that as a list of targets.
100% Hacking Team. Come on, guys.
Hacking
Up your
Team.
fucking propaganda game. Jesus Christ. Hacking Team. I don't know any fucking hackers that are going to go by Hacking Team. Are you fucking kidding me? That is the dumbest shit I've heard today.
Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong later expressed his regret towards the purchase, sacked the more dubious members of the team. Coinbase later sourced analytic software deals with both the Secret Service and the IRS. Hell yeah.
Watch. It's
Coinbase,
just rebranded Promise.
It's what?
It's probably just rebranded Promise software.
Guaranteed. Coinbase is now inking $1 million deals with the federal government. Move over Chainalysis. The U.S. government may have a new favorite blockchain company. If you it's not real. It's not real. So because it's not real, I say, fucking take advantage of that shit, manipulate the fuck out of it. Hotep Jesus on a Union of the Unwanted once said, if you can't manifest something as fake as currency, then your manifestation skills need work, homeboy. And so, I feel like that's kind of where we're at with crypto right now. I think it's that fucking window is closing rapidly. But
I give it 2 years before the IRS and shit is so fucking entrenched in that no one's gonna use it. At least to convert
100%.
it.
Or it's the IRS is going to be so entrenched with it that everything will be operating on it, but it will only operate on USD coin or whatever, and they'll make it so they'll try to make it obsolete. Any competing coins they'll try to make obsolete.
No, for sure.
Or they'll just keep them around like the fucking FBI does all the fucking pedo networks, and keep them around to monitor. And then if they ever need to swoop in and make somebody's life miserable or try and turn them into a snitch, they can do that. Yay. Let's see. Where am I going over to? Oh, so Joe Biden, while we're on the subject. Yeah, so Steve Cutler in the chat, Joe Biden addressing the UN. We were listening to that earlier this morning. I can shit. The audio would be good, the video would suck, but I could screen share it. Cab, when is the protest for Commander X? October 12th. Yes. October 12th, Peckham Federal Building, downtown San Jose, 100 what I think it's west, 101st Street. At the 100 block, east or west, doesn't really matter much. It's a difference of one side of the street or the other. October 12th, Peckham Federal Building, San Jose, 9 a.m. That's when the hearing is supposed to start, and it would be, I guess, rude of us if we showed up at 9 o'clock in the morning and did not bring a fired up Glory Jones and a bullhorn for all the good people who work inside the court system in San Jose at the federal level. I think it's important that we show up bright and early, right when they're starting their work day, with Glory Jones and a bullhorn. Yeah.
Godspeed. Poor bastards.
Let's see. Do we still have... So we can listen to some of Joe Biden's remarks at the UN. There was definitely some great reset shit going on in there. What's the best way to do this, Josh? Like, should I just screen share it and apologize for the crap video?
If you send me a link, I can download it. Send me a link and I'll download and set it up. It's gonna take a minute though.
Okay, I'm putting it in the StreamYard chat.
That ain't gonna help me. I need it in Element.
Okay.
I have to do it on the other computer.
Okay. I mean, you could probably just pull it from the YouTube channel from that Zero Hedge, but I had Zero Hedge up for the other article on Evergrande. Because, okay, so the reason, and I've got that other article up, that document about ICE and Homeland Security planning to use Coinbase as forensic tools, if you want to go through that a little bit too. But the reason that Teddy wanted to come on, and I should probably check with him to see if he's still going to be doing that. But the reason he wanted to come on is because last week he was like full of worry that over the 18th, over the weekend, there was going to be an analogous event to January 6th, except for it was actually going to end in violence and going to end in bloodshed. He pulled back from that, had realized that he'd gotten a couple of dates not in line, and then all of this talk about the Hong Kong stock market just cratering sort of sent him off on that, because there's been like a wholesale sell-off of a couple of key stocks, and this is kind of how it happened last time, when and I think last time it was either the Chinese stock market or the Japanese stock market that took a shit first, and like brutally, and it sort of had this ripple effect to where markets all around the world started tanking, because financial houses all over the place were trying to call in the debts and loans that they had out, which of course had all been sold on a bill of bullshit, and were worth significantly less than the digital paper they were printed on. And all of that's happening again. And it's happening in a number of identical ways, but also with a couple of new elements. One of them being these bad bundled car loans. This is something that we talked about on Slow News Day like years ago. Like, hey, look out for the fact that the same predatory lenders, the same fucking demons that like tanked the fucking stock market with your money, then scooped up all of it and said, yeah, go, I guess you lost your house. I got a yacht. Go fuck yourself. Those guys, like all of them, nobody paid a price for that. And now they're doing collateralized loan obligations with bad car loans. So everybody that's been defaulting on their car loans, so if you roll it forward to, I don't know, I mean, about halfway-ish.
Environmental safety. I announced the announcements. We're running.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he talks for like a half an hour. The Build Back Better shit, I think, is about 3/4 of the way through. We don't have to listen to all of this, by the way. This is some of this shit, just so you can get. And real quick, before we get into this, I want everyone to notice how fucking like shot full of cocktail fucking who knows what drugs Joe Biden is for this. He is fired up. He's looking cognizant. He gets most of the words right. The sign language interpreter is feeling it, yo. Feeling it. She is. They must have
found a fucking 8-year-old before the thing.
They gave Joe Biden 3 10-year-old girls before this. They said, Joe, we need you at your best today. What's it going to take? He said, bring me 3 tweens. And so they did. They rounded up the tweens and they brought Joey B. Cab, thank you very much for the super chat. Check Biden's earlobes. So I don't know if you guys heard this. You guys did you see the pictures running around where there was apparently like some like either a earpiece like supplanted in Biden's ear, which of course there is. Of course there is. But like there's a thing where Biden's earlobes were supposedly like, what was it, detached?
Yeah, if you look at his old Senate pictures, the black and whites, they're all attached.
Biden, yeah. So there's a whole like earlobe thing. Apparently, maybe Biden is fake Paul. Maybe that's it. Maybe the hologram construction wasn't accounting for detached earlobes in the 70s. Cab, I don't know. We live in a fucking cartoon, my friend. Anything is possible. But yes, they gave Joe Biden 3 tweens, a fucking like flute of adrenochrome, and a fucking pile of cocaine. And said, get out there in front of the travertine wall and fucking spin them happy tunes for the children's Joey B. Let's listen to this cloud show. Let's see if I can get a hold of Teddy.
We renewed our engagement with the European Union, a fundamental partner in tackling the full range of significant issues facing our world today. We elevated the Quad partnership among Australia, India, Japan, and the United States to take on challenges ranging from health security to climate to emerging technologies. We're engaging with regional institutions from ASEAN to the African Union to the Organization of American States to focus on people's urgent needs for better health and better economic outcomes. We're back at the table in international forums, especially the United Nations, to focus attention and to spur global action on shared challenges. We are re-engaged at the World Health Organization and working in close partnership with COVAX to deliver life-saving vaccines around the world. We rejoined the Paris Climate Agreement, and we're running to retake a seat in the Human Rights Council next year at the UN. And as the United States seeks to rally the world to action, we will lead not just with the example of our power, but God willing with the power of our example. Make no mistake, the United States will continue to defend ourselves, our allies, and our interests against attack, including terrorist threats, as we prepare to use force if any is necessary. But to defend our vital U.S. national interest, including against ongoing and imminent threats. But the mission must be clear and achievable, undertaken with informed consent of the American people, and whenever possible, in partnership with our allies. U.S. military power must be our tool of last resort, not our first. And it should not be used as an answer to every problem we see around the world. Indeed, today, many of our greatest concerns cannot be solved or even addressed through the force of arms. Bombs and bullets cannot defend against COVID-19 or its future variants. To fight this pandemic, we need a collective act of science and political will. We need to act now to get shots in arms as fast as possible and expand access to oxygen, tests, treatments to save lives around the world. And for the future, we need to create a new mechanism to finance global health security that builds on our existing development assistance and global health and a global health threat council that is armed with the tools we need to monitor and identify emerging pandemics so that we can take immediate action. Already, the United States has put more than $15 billion toward the global COVID response. We've shipped more than 160 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine to other countries. This includes 130 million doses from our own supply and the first tranches of the 500 million doses of Pfizer vaccine we purchased to donate through COVAX. Planes carrying vaccines from the United States have already landed in 100 countries, bringing people all over the world a little dose of hope, as one American nurse termed it to me. A dose of hope, direct from the American people.
And he hasn't said shit about the stuff you were.
No strings attached. And tomorrow.
He's just talking about vaccines and shit.
We got some good COVID lies out of it. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's into, if you guys are into it, we'll come back at another time and we'll do a whole watch along. But I would imagine that Burmis is probably going to do that too. I was just trying to get to it while it was live. Let's see. You know what? Yeah, fuck Joe Biden. I'm sending Teddy a text real quick. There we go. Done with that. I got too much shit going on. I really do. But no, I mean, we've all seen Joey B at his, I don't know, least cognizant, and it's just kind of remarkable, like how you can medically, chemically alter a human being.
He started fucking up when you were gone, so like he wasn't that
yeah
cognizant.
No, it loses it a little bit, and then towards the end when he starts going into the build back better agenda as the world best slower. That's what I was kind of hoping we could get to, but I have no timestamps or any of this shit. This was just something that Zero Hedge had playing while I was reading it this morning because, you know, I'm the gateway to the alt-right, so I read Zero Hedge. Jesus Christ.
Dude, just a libertarian or whatever. Nope. Where'd you go? All right, hold on, folks. All right. If he doesn't come back in a minute, y'all, I'm gonna kill it. Nah, the stream's still here. It's just Steve that dropped off. All right, give me a minute. I'm gonna try to get a hold of Steve. Hey, Allie, what's up? All right, he's not seeing my messages, so I'm assuming his internet just took a shit. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys. We will come back if we get Teddy. So good luck to us all, I suppose.